Well, hey there, YouTube, it's Petey, and today I'm going to be talking about the mass shooting that happened in Buffalo. Uh, I discovered it had been maybe 35 minutes had gone by when I discovered what had occurred, and I Googled for the shooter's name and got the shooter's name, and that led me into quickly finding someone else who had done considerable research and who had listed a bunch of links to well, they had put together like a presentation, and there was links in there which explained the guy's story, his motive, and then there was a thread, rapidly developing thread in a forum which is called Kiwi Farms. So I hung around in that Kiwi Farms thread, and eventually the video was, the guy, he live streamed his killing spree. So that video, there was a guy on 4chan who had the video, a guy, The Leaf. He was a Canadian guy, and he kept throwing out screenshots of it, and eventually he shared the video, and I obtained a copy of that video. What I got was 6 minutes and 52 seconds, mostly driving, and then you see him get out of the car and immediately shoot a older white woman in the head. She falls down. He shoots two more people on the way into the store. He comes in, and there's two African American women on the ground. He shoots them. He runs around. There's a guy that kind of pops out, shoots that guy. The video, it's really not anything you want to see. He is precise and tactical and very quick. From when the first shot is fired to when the last shot. And I'm not sure, I believe there's only, in the cut that I saw, there's 7 people that go down. There's a white guy at the end. He comes around, and the guy is laying on the ground, and the guy shrieks, puts his hand up and shrieks, and the shooter says sorry and keeps going, and then that's where the video ends. So the video has 4 minutes of him driving around, and there's a lot of dropouts. There's weird stuff going on with the audio and dropouts during the assault. But like I said, it's you hear one of the victims making some noise, and he comes back and finishes the job. It's really, you really don't want to see it. You really do not want to see it. And you consider this guy threw his life away. He's a kid. He's young. He's 18. Threw the rest of his life away, and I got to see video of what he did. Not worth it. Not worth it. I was impressed with his killing prowess, about how he seemed like he had trained for that. Now, of course, the right wing and the tinfoil hat crew, they're all saying that this is glowy, it's glowing, which means that it's a, or maybe other people involved, alphabet agencies, this sort of thing. And there is some stuff that really makes you scratch your head. He detailed all of his weapons purchases, and he came out with this manifesto, which a lot of it was copied and pasted from the guy who shot up the mosques in New Zealand, who he killed 49 people. He was the first guy who live streamed his attack. Since then, there's been other people who've attempted to live stream their killing spree, and nobody's really done a very good job with it. One guy got all suited up, went to the courthouse, and a security guard shot him before he even got in the building. But this kid's story is, I mean, you could look at it like he was a victim of COVID. He was bored. He ended up on a website called 4chan in the political section, which 4chan poll has turned into a place where people discuss hate. It's hate speech. The Jews did 9/11. It's, you know, it's really racist. It's and on the outside, there's people are saying that 4chan is glowy. That it's glowing. It's they aren't real people that you're speaking to in there. They're alphabet agency guys who are in there encouraging these people to snap off and do stuff like what happened today. Now, where I was today at the Kiwi Farms, the common consensus is that this guy was just an idiot. That this is just a work of a moron. This guy is a retard. And of course, he deserves the chair immediately. He should go straight to hell, this guy, for what he did. Now, in there's people saying, oh, this is conspiracy, or they're saying they are going to chimp out and there's going to be, you thought George Floyd was bad. You know, and a lot of it does make sense. It's like, they talked about the summer of love in 2020 when we had the rioting. It was bad news. They're saying that's what's coming again, that this is only going to be much worse. Well, I'm not so sure that that's going to be the case. George Floyd was police brutality. This is something that everybody feels bad about it. And yeah, his manifesto was against people of color and Jewish people and so on and so forth, type of white supremacy type of thing. In his manifesto, he says that the whites aren't breeding and that all these other Muslims, Islam, Nation of Islam, African Americans, Hispanics are all replacing us. And that because of our race is dying, that's why he drove 300 miles.
So now he can't reproduce.
to a grocery store. There isn't. It's really, when you really look at it and think it through, the guy comes off like a complete moron, like a retard. Okay. Now, when you see the footage of him killing, he looks like he's been trained. There was 22 people watching the stream. He had 0 people following him. So it's like, and why did someone record the stream? Because the footage is, I saw the footage, you know. So there is some, I mean, unless, obviously, did he put this out there? And why would these other people that were watching the stream, why did they not call 911? So there is questions. There is, of course, there's anytime something like this happens, I look at it and I want to look for evidence of stuff that doesn't add up, like in the Las Vegas case, which that was really, really bad. The Sandy Hook, Alex Jones got canceled for talking about that. So people are saying, oh, these places are going to get shut down. These free speech is going to suffer. 4chan, Kiwi Farms for hosting the video. And I mean, he says, the guy comes right out in the manifesto and says, this is what turned me. Hanging around these places on the internet turned me into becoming what I became. So there's a real lot there to consider and to digest. It's quite a case. If you enjoy true crime stuff or political science type discussions, but really at the end of the day, this is just it's like I wish I never would have clicked on it at this point, you know. So that's really the takeaway here. If you're curious about hunting down that video and seeing it, you really don't want to see the video. You really don't. And, you know, my heart goes out to the poor innocent people that were cut down. I mean, they're middle-aged women. It's a grocery store. It's like, obviously there was a security guard who lost his life. I believe he was an ex-cop. I believe that guy took a shot at him. But this guy had some kind of body armor. So that's another thing. All of the stuff that's on this list, he gives a list. Everything is detailed. It was like a 150-page manifesto. Then there's what he said on his Discord for months. He had a diary that he published, and he's written racial slurs and other names of other serial killers, or what do you call these people who went nuts and shot up the place, on his weapons. Which that was something that the first guy to do this trick of live streaming when you kill a bunch of people, he was a racist. He killed 49 people in a mosque, or a couple of mosques that was in New Zealand. And that guy was the hero of this younger kid, who he stated in his manifesto he was going to plead guilty. He has pled not guilty. So we're going to have the trial. That video is going to be going around. I would encourage you, if you're curious about this kind of stuff, to go over to Kiwi Farms and check out that thread. I'm not going to be linking anything. You can find what you need to find, but I just wanted to discuss it and offer my take on it, being that I really don't think I think this guy pretty much he acted alone, and he was just an idiot. I think this guy was a moron. And the fact that he's still alive, that's kind of a big bummer. The fact that I saw those people lose their lives, that's something I'm not going to be able to forget for a while. So take my advice, don't watch the video. If you want to learn more about all of this, head over to Kiwi Farms. The people are archiving the stuff so you can find it, but like, boy, there was a ton of stuff when in that first 2 hours that I was able to access, but a lot of it was taken down. A lot of it's been taken down. A lot of it's people are archiving it. And I've got a collection of stuff here. I've got a good amount of stuff on it, but I won't be sharing any of that, or I don't want to redistribute any of that. You know, and that's the thing. In America, unless you Virginia Tech or Columbine, we move on fairly quickly from these things. And the whole gun debate thing, when you kind of can't put the cork, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. And when you end up with the situation where only the criminals have the guns, it's a really bad situation. And that's really what a lot of the people that dabble in this conspiracy theory stuff, that's what they think. They're coming for my freedoms and coming for my guns, you know. So at the end of the day, we need the mass shootings to stop. We really do. We really do need that to stop. So that I would think how you could have analysts think tank this out and implement better security measures, have people that are there that are armed, and utilizing metal detectors and things like that in public places. I mean, it is what it is, and it's absolutely insane because there's this huge problem, and yet we have nobody can even figure out what's real and what's not. There's so many people believing in conspiracy theories. In the meantime, we have guns pouring into our inner cities. African American communities destroying each other. There's so many issues related to gun violence. So the other thing is a verse in the Bible that says, live by the sword, die by the sword. So that's something to think about there too. All right, you guys, I'm going to cut you loose. Don't watch that video. Check out Kiwi Farms if you want to learn more about the situation, but I got to warn you, the people there, some of the people there are really racist. Really, really venomous, horrible things being said. So be warned. In the meantime, hug your pets, try to stay cool, and peace.